everybody, welcome back to Crochet by Landry. In this video, I thought it would be fun to just kind of take it back and do another tutorial. So I thought it would be fun to make a facial scrubby set for the bathroom so we can have nice clean faces, especially over the summer. So grab your Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, your 5mm hook, and your pattern off of yarnspirations.com, and I'll put the link down below. And once you've got your supplies, let's get started making some facial scrubbies. Okay, everybody, let's get started making our face scrubby set. So what you're going to need is you're going to need Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, and I'm going to be using yellow. Your 5mm hook, some scissors, and a yarn needle for sewing in ends. And if you want to follow along with me, I'm going to be using the pattern from yarnspirations.com. I'll put the link in the description box down below. And once you've got all your supplies, let's get started. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start off by making a slip knot, and then you're going to chain 2 to begin. 1, 2. Try not to let your hook slip out. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put 8 single crochets in the second chain from your hook. So 1, 2, last one, 8, and then you're going to join with a slip stitch to your first single crochet that you made. You have to count back from 8. So count back, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this, the first one's right here. You may need to wiggle your hook a little bit or try to get your help with your fingers to get it in. There we go. And join with a slip stitch. And now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1 to begin the next round. For round 2, you're going to be putting 2 single crochets in each stitch around, going from 8 to 16. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. And 6. I'm going to keep going, and once you get back to the beginning, join with a slip stitch to your first single crochet, and I will meet you there, and we'll move on to round 3 together. Okay, so for the next round, you're going to chain 1 again, and you're going to do 1 single crochet in where you joined, and then 2 in the next one after that. That's called an increase. So that's the pattern for this round. It's 1, and then an increase. And you're going to do that all the way around until you get back to the end. And once you hit the last stitch, you should be able to put 2 single crochets in that last stitch and then slip stitch to the first single crochet, and I will meet you there and we'll move on to the last round together. Okay, so we're going to work on round 4, and we're going to chain 1 to begin. Now in this round, we're going to put 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then an increase in the third. And you're just going to work that all the way around. So it's 1, 1, and then an increase. And again, you're going to work that all the way around so you get back to the beginning. Once you get back to the beginning, I'll meet you there. And once you finish round 4, that's what your facial scrubby should relatively look like. Then you're going to chain 1 to fasten off. Trim your end. Pull your tail through. And then don't forget to weave in all your ends. And you're going to want to make at least 8 and weave in all your ends. But now let's work on the bag portion of our scrubby set. For the bag portion in the pattern, it says to start from the work from the 2 stars. So you're going to start at the beginning of the facial scrubby, and then we'll move on from there. So let's start with a chain 2, like we did before, 2, and then we're going to work 8 single crochets just like we did. I'm going to work rounds 1 through 4 of the facial scrubby, and I will meet you at the end of round 4, and I'll throw you in a time lapse so you can see how I'm doing it, and I'll catch up with you for round 5. Okay, so for round 5, we're going to start the bag portion now. We're going to do one more round of increasing, and then we're going to start working on going up with the bag. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 in the next, and then 1 in the next one after that. So that's 3. And then you're going to increase in the 4th. So that's it. So go 1, 2, 3, and then increase. Okay, and then I'm going to finish up this round, and then I'll meet you at the beginning, and once we get there, we'll move on to round 6. If you finished round 5, this is what your piece should look like. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to round 6, and in round 6, we're going to chain 1 after slip stitching. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to work in the back loops of our piece so we can get our piece to go up. So you have 2 loops in your project. You've got the front loop, which is closest to you, but then you've got the back loop, which is the farthest away from you. We're going to be putting our hook into the back loop, and you're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And once you've done that, I will meet up with you, and we will move on to the next round together. So now that you've done round 6, we're going to move on to round 7. We're going to do now is chain 4. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. This counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. What you're going to do now is you're going to skip a stitch and go into the next stitch, and you're going to do a double crochet in the next step in this one. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1. Skip the next single crochet and go into the one after that. And you're just going to double crochet, leaving a space, and then chain 1. And you're just going to repeat this all the way around, skipping 1 single crochet along your path to the end. Once you get back to the beginning, I'll meet you there and I'll show you what to do next. Now that you've reached the end, you're going to slip stitch into that chain 4 you did. Okay, then we're going to chain 1 again, and you're going to put 2 single crochets in each chain 1 space. So that's 1, 2, just put 2 single crochets in each space. What you're going to do next is just back to the beginning and slip stitch to the very first single crochet that you made. And then what you're going to do for your pattern, if you're following along with me, is for rounds 9 to 16, you're going to repeat rows 7 and 8 4 more times. Once you've done that, I will catch up with you and we will finish off our face scrubby set together. Okay, so once you've done up to 16 rounds, and that's from repeating rounds 7 and 8, your piece should look something like this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to trim your end, fasten off, pull your tail through, and you're also going to weave in your end. And don't forget to weave in all of your ends on your face scrubbies as well. That way everything looks neat and tidy. Okay, and then just snip your end. There you go. Okay, and that's the basket part. So we're just gonna make the drawstring that goes in the top end. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna measure out 2 pieces of the yarn in the same color that you're using for your basket. And you're gonna measure them about 36 inches, or if you're using centimeters, it's 91.5 centimeters long. And you're gonna tie a knot in both ends. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna try to twist the pieces. If you need somebody to help you, probably not a bad idea. But twist them as tightly as you can. And then once you've done that, bring both ends together so they curl with one another, and tie those ends in a knot so they don't unravel on you, or so it doesn't uncurl. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to weave them in and out of the stitches on the top here in the holes. So just weave them in and out as best as you can. Weaving them in and out, just that way. You're going to create a little drawstring effect. Now you probably want to make sure that your other tails are on the outside where you tied the knot. That way you can make sure that it looks right. Almost there. Okay, and then I think, there we go. And then what you can do is after you're done, after you've made your 8 facial scrubbies, you just put them in your bag, pull your drawstring. You can play with the top and make it look pretty if you want. Tie it in a nice bow, and there you have it. We finished our facial scrubby set. And there we have it, everybody. We made a facial scrubby set. This makes a great gift for bridal showers or baby shower, or even a birthday gift, or a just because gift. Also, it doesn't have to be a gift for an occasion. You can give it to anyone for any reason. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button and the notification bell, and I'll see you next week for more fun content. And I also just recently put up some more stuff on my Etsy shop, which I'll put a link down below. So see you next Friday, everybody.